since I had my braces. You haven't really seen me at all, but I have to say something because it's bothering me a lot. So I see a lot of people, they're not paying their bills on time. And I see that they have the money available on other credit cards, and I think that people don't know how to switch their stuff around, like switch their bills around. So it's stopping them from repairing their credit, building their credit, even getting approved for more credit cards. So let me tell you guys this: if you guys have a credit card, say if you got a Capital One credit card, and that minimum payment is $50, if you got another credit card that have $100, $200, $300 available, I would rather, and it's gonna sound bad, but I'm telling y'all the truth. I would rather y'all get the money off that as a cash advance, enough just to pay that next bill. If y'all don't have the money at all, I would rather you take that money off just to pay the other credit card, because that late payment is going to stop you for years. Literally, when you could just pay an extra $10, $15 for this credit card. So I just want you guys like to pay it just because you guys did a cash advance. So please, if you have a late payment, try to learn how to switch your money, move your money around. Some people say, "Oh, Rickita, I know I got $300 on that Discover credit card and Capital One will only pay $50, but I just didn't have it." And I'm asking them, they're like, "I don't want to use my credit cards no more because I'm messing my credit even more." And I'm telling them, like, you're not going to mess up your credit even more. The problem with you is you will spend too much money on your credit cards. If you're going to not using a debit card, if you're going to use your debit card to pay a bill, use your debit card for that remaining amount on your Discover credit card and use that cash to pay your credit cards. Because if you guys have late payments on your credit cards, trust me, it's going to be so hard to fix your credit. It's going to be so hard to get more credit cards. Who wants to give you a credit card if you can't pay the ones you got? Nobody. So I just really suggest this. Like, I wanted to go on a tangent about this because I see this a lot. Like, I'm repairing people credit. I'm like, "Oh yeah, your credit going up," and then I see a late payment the next month. I'm like, "What the, you know what is this?" Like, I'm really getting frustrated. And I'm like, am I not educating people on just paying their bill by any means necessary? Because that late payment, like I said, is going to drop your credit score so much. It's going to drop your credit score so much, and then you're going to wonder why you can't get credit cards in the future. So that's one thing. Now let me go on another tangent. I see that a lot of people, like when you're repairing your credit, you have to delete additional names, addresses, and you might have additional date of birth, additional social security numbers. You have to delete this from your credit reports. Like, seriously. And if you stayed at 123 Main Street and you apply for all of your different credit cards at that address, you honestly need to get a new address. You honestly do. I don't care if you're going to use your cousin address. I don't care if you're going to use your mama address. I don't care who address you're going to use, but you need to get a new address. And you need to call the credit bureaus, all three credit bureaus, and tell them to add that address to your credit reports. Some people get stuck at that. They're like, they don't want to add it, and I'm not going to get this address on my ID. What am I going to do? And I tell people, if they're not going to add it, then what you need to do is you need to bite the bullet, because you're not going to get a lot of your accounts off. Most of your accounts are going to stay on there. So you need to bite the bullet and remove these different accounts. And when I say bite the bullet, you need to apply for a credit card that's going to pull that credit bureau. So say Capital One. Capital One is going to pull all three credit bureaus. So if you need to add your address to TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, you can literally apply for the Capital One credit card. Put that new address, that's your address now. Put that new address on your Capital One application. And when Capital One pull your credit report, they're going to add that. The credit bureau is going to snatch that address up and add it to the credit report. And, you know, people know how to remove inquiries. I'm not suggesting people do anything like that, but people know how to do different things. Like, you just need to add that address onto your credit reports, and then you need to call each credit bureau back and say, "Hey, I have these different addresses on my credit reports that shouldn't be here," and get all of those other addresses off, especially if you had negative accounts at that address. And I have to go through this phase too of like deleting addresses and stuff like that. That's how I know it works. It's no way I should have gotten out of all the debt that I gotten out of, honestly. Without them suing me too, change your address and add a new address on. It's like you're a brand new person, honestly. So that's why I tell people to do that. So that's two of the things I see people doing. You're having late payments, and I just don't understand late payments. I don't care, honestly. I don't care what you're going through. It got to be some type of way you can pay that bill. Some type of way, because you got to think about it. If you can't pay that bill, you're going to use your debit card anyway to pay the bill. So won't you just use that money to pay off your credit card to whatever that's due, and then use that credit card to pay your bill that you was gonna pay with your debit card. Like, y'all just have to think about it that way. You just, by any means necessary, you cannot have a late payment. That's really it. That's like the biggest thing. So just make sure, like, by any means necessary, you guys don't have a late payment, because I'm seeing that a lot, and I'm like, and then I'm talking to a lot of people too that's saying that they're gonna pay off their debt, and they're like, oh, when it's tax time, I'm gonna pay off my debt, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and then like, I'm gonna cancel my cards. If you guys are getting taxes back and you're going to pay off your debt, please, 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 please do not cancel any of those credit cards. And when you pay off those credit cards too, because I made this mistake in the past, credit card companies can actually lower your bill, lower your available credit, your limit. So please do not, like, if you owe $2,000 in your credit card, probably $4,000, and it's been maxed out for a long time, don't pay it all at once. Set that money in a separate account, and I'm telling y'all what I've done before. Set that money in a separate account, probably pay $500 here, pay $300 there, but just trickle that money into that account, into your new credit card and payments. Because if you pay it all at one time, Security Bank did this to me before. If you pay it all at one time, they're gonna lower your bill. Lower your limit, and you don't want that to happen. So just slowly pay it. Because I'm like, oh, I got the money. This is, I'm like, this is nothing. I got the money to pay it. They lowered it, and I'm like, what is going on? So that's why I tell people, just slowly pay it, or they're going to lower your limit, and that's not what you want. If they lower your limit, then to me, your credit score should be going down, because your overall utilization is going to be out of whack because they lowered your limit. So definitely make sure that you are doing that. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'm going to be live for a little bit because I got a few other things that I want to say, and I'm going to send this to clients, so I ain't got to just talk to anybody like individually. And y'all know I haven't been talking since I even got my braces. Like, I'm just not learning how to talk, and my mouth even put my phone on do not disturb, because I don't want that to happen again. But if y'all have any questions, definitely let me know. Now, when it come down to, I got another thing I gotta pick with people. When it come down to getting credit cards, when I tell y'all, when y'all start repairing your credit, get 4 credit cards. Get 4 credit cards. Some people like, oh, I'm gonna wait and I'm gonna do this, I'm that. Get 4 credit cards as soon as possible. And if you guys have to get secure credit cards, try to get secure credit cards that's going to graduate, like Discover, sometimes Capital One, but I'm still going to throw it in there, Navy Federal. And see if you got one at your local credit union. Try to get a credit card that's going to graduate, which means, yes, secure mean they don't trust you. They need you to put the money up front, and then they'll send you a credit card with that amount. That's going to be your limit. So they don't trust you, so go ahead and put down whatever they want as that deposit. But after about 6 months, sometimes 3 months, 7 months, 8 months, they'll give you that money back and give you a regular credit card. So try to see if you can get a secure credit card if you need to. Now, I have seen people wait, and I personally did this too. I messed up my credit a few times, so I know how to fix it, like bankruptcies, charge-offs, collections, all these different things. But when I have just waited to delete all my accounts, my credit scores did not go up as fast as when I got credit cards from the jump. Secure credit cards, even Open Sky. When I have gotten accounts like that right away, my credit scores, like even after bankruptcy, 700s. Because I got credit cards, and then I started removing those accounts right away. Now, removing accounts is one thing, but you guys need to have positive accounts. Now, let me break it down on how credit is looked at. Credit is looked at as this. All of these companies are talking to the credit bureaus, which the credit bureaus is like your report card, basically. So your report card is basically your grade. Okay, and you got all your teachers, you can think about it like that, all your teachers saying, oh, we got F's, F's. You need a few teachers to say you got A's. And these teachers is these credit cards that you have, these loans that you have. You need something to say you got A's and B's. That's all it really is, basically. All right, just so think about this like your report cards. And I have a lot of young people that's following me now, so I wanted to break it down like that. And I also break it down like this too. If you guys have a lot of different credit card companies that's talking bad about y'all, you only looked at as negative. Now, if you have a few credit card companies saying, oh yeah, she paying on time, oh yeah, the balance low over here, she got 15,000 but she only using 3, that looks so good. It looks like you're not desperate. So that's why I tell people to get credit cards right away. And you got to think about it like this. If you fresh out of bankruptcy, all you got is charge offs and collections on your credit reports. You have no credit cards reporting positively for you at all. You just look bad. And this is being honest. You just look really bad. So that's why I tell people get secure credit cards. I don't care. Like, go to my website, Rickita.com. I don't care if you got to get the credit builder card. That can help you. You just need positive things reporting every month. Like, seriously, that's all you need. You need positive things reporting every month. And once you get these positive accounts reporting every month, you're going to see your credit scores go up. So get these accounts right away. Some people have been with me and I got everything deleted and I'm like, why is that credit score still so low? And I look deeper into that credit. I'm like, they still have not got any credit cards. I was scared to get a credit card, Rickita. I didn't know. And I'm like, okay, well, let's get some now. But in my mind, I'm like, I preach getting credit cards. So why wouldn't people get credit cards? And y'all tell me exactly why, because I don't understand it. Would it come down? And I know people may be scared because I was like that at one point too. I just think it's maybe people were scared. But honestly, like when it come down to credit, and I learned this from a man. He tell me mess with people that mess with you. Period. That's why I don't care. Like I get some negative comments, like you can't remove inquiries, because one thing I know you can't remove inquiries, and I just realized that they're just being negative. I don't care about that. Oh, and why are you telling people to do the move inquiries that way? Why are you telling people to do that? And I know the methods work. I'm just like, you just don't mess with me. You don't want to get your credit fixed. That ain't got nothing to do with me. So the same thing with these credit card companies. I'm not going to not apply for a credit card because I'm scared anymore. I'm going to apply and you're going to tell me yes or no. And if you tell me no, that's fine. I'll try back next month. I'll try back next month, especially if it's a pre-qualification, because if you can pre-qualify for it, you're not getting a hard inquiry. What is there to be scared about? Before, when you was applying for credit cards, you were scared to apply because you're going to get a hard inquiry. But now that's not even the case. That's not even the case. So I tell people just apply. It's a pre-qualification. And on my website, if you go to my website, Rickita.com, and scroll down some, I got a whole list of over 45 credit cards and different accounts that can pre-qualify you without a hard inquiry. That means they're going to tell you yes or no, whether they're going to give you a credit card or not without a hard inquiry. And if they say, hey, we got a credit card we can approve you for, a lot of times, I would say 7 or 8 times out of 10, they're going to really give you that credit card. I haven't had one that said that they was going to apply me and they haven't really given it to me. Maybe one or two. But you got to think about it. Right now, I probably got like 15 or 20 credit cards. So you got to think about all the credit cards I have applied for over my lifetime. I'm in my 30s right now. All the credit cards I have applied for. So that's why I tell people, go to my website, Rickita.com, and look at that list of credit cards that can pre-qualify you without a hard inquiry. And these credit cards are going to say yes or no, so it's no reason to be scared. You guys need 4 credit cards and you need 2 installment accounts. And a lot of times people, they come to me and literally they got collections for $300. And I'm not talking about nobody, but I'm just keeping it real with everybody. They have collections and it's $300 and they trying to say how they can get business funding. And I'm like, this is a new collection, or they got late payments that's recent. Nobody gonna give you 20, 30, $40,000 in business credit. This is going to be something that you're gonna have to work on. And I have been very great at removing late payments, and pat myself on the back for that. I have been getting better at removing the late payments, like almost like for sure these things are getting off. You know, sometimes it's a hit or miss. You got to figure out the method for each company. And also go to my website and look at accounts deleted. At the top, like hover over, I need to figure out how to make it permanent. But if you use that search bar at the top, just hover at the top or just press all at the top in right hand corner. Look at accounts deleted. I have so many different accounts there, so you can see, oh my gosh, Rickita, you have removed the bankruptcy before. You have removed all the different accounts. My goal is by the end of this year, I want to literally have every account that I ever deleted recent, because I haven't really been keeping track of it. But the results that I have and going forward, every account that's out there, I want to show you guys how I have deleted it, or maybe showing you guys how I have removed the late payment. Like showing you, hey, this is Enhanced Recovery Company on Credit Karma. You can see the results that it was actually deleted. So that's my goal, is to have that there for you all. Like literally every company is out there. I don't care who it is. Um, I have a lot of repos on there right now, late payments, charge offs, student loans on there. So you guys can go there now and literally see the accounts that I have gotten deleted. And I've been made the letters available for you all last year. It's like $27 for like student loans or charge offs. And a lot of people have taken advantage of it and gotten their credit fixed, for those people that are disciplined. But those things are really working. Like, not to say like I'm like what the heck, but seriously, those things are really working, and I'm getting amazing results for people. But the key thing is, in the beginning of my rant that I'm doing right now, is removing those addresses. When you get those addresses removed, it's so much easier to get those accounts deleted. And also sending out your stuff certified mail. So here's somebody right here sending out certified mail. One of my clients, I sent out some certified mail for them on the 1st. Send them out certified mail. Been getting some amazing results, you guys. So definitely don't sleep on it at all. Like, call the credit bureaus, have them add a new address on if you messed up with a company before and you gave them your address, in terms of on an application, or when you apply. Say if you apply for Capital One and 123 Main Street is the address that you use to apply for that credit card, and you still got that address on your credit report as your current address, then you need to add a new address on, and you need to remove that 123 Main Street plus any other old addresses. You don't really need them on there. So I suggest that people do that. Once you guys do that, you're going to see a lot of your accounts come on. Like, a lot of those accounts are going to come off, and you're going to really be so happy that those accounts come off. But you're not going to. Some people think that they can just sit around and the accounts are just going to come off, and it will after 7.5 years. I just had somebody the other day ask me, why is this inquiry on here? It's like on the Experian credit report, their inquiry is still on there from 2021. And y'all know inquiry is not supposed to be on there for no 3 years. 3 years, come on now, a year and a half max. And really, the reason why those inquiries are on there is because they're not saying anything about it. The credit bureau is not trying to remove any accounts or any inquiries, which means that we have to send in disputes to get these removed. And if you guys have inquiries that you need to get removed, all you have to do is just call the credit bureau to ask them to delete it. Say, hey, I have this Capital One inquiry on my credit report that's not supposed to be here. And they're like, oh, let me look at it. Oh, I can remove that for you right now. Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And if you have somebody on there on the phone that won't do it for you, then you want to just hang up and call back again. Honestly, hang up and call back again. Hopefully you get somebody that's going to help you. Like, sometimes people want to go, like, I have a free letter on my website, like right there at the top you see like free letter and credit card list. You're going to get a free dispute letter to send to the credit bureaus, plus you're going to get a free inquiry letter. But I tell people, only do the inquiry letters if you called a lot of time, and really TransUnion to me is going to be the problem. Equifax and Experian should remove your inquiries right away. But if TransUnion giving you a problem, they're going to remove only some of your inquiries, not all of them. Then send them a letter for those ones, okay? And then again, make sure you guys send out the letters certified. That's the key. Send them out certified, and then you can use this tracking right here to actually track the letter. And y'all can track kids, because it's nothing at all to look at the tracking to see where it's going to. So definitely send them certified, and you guys are going to get way better results. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon. I honestly did not think to go live, but I literally was doing so many people letters today. Like right here, like y'all can see, I gotta do all of these letters up. I'm about to do that now, and I was like literally losing my mind today, honestly. And I'm like, I know my little lady thing coming in a few days, and I have attitudes, and I like to stay away from people. I'm just that person. But I'm like, ain't no way. It just can't be me. What about disputes online? I would suggest you guys do it by paper first. And if you can't get it deleted by paper for whatever reason, you really need to sue them, then I suggest that you guys do the disputes online. But try to do the other methods first. Like try to do paper, do certified, try it that way first. And then to me, online is just extra. But when you guys have addresses, phone numbers, then dispute online for sure. That's what I would suggest. Because on Equifax, it's easy to dispute them online. And I like the Equifax. You can dispute a lot of stuff online, especially like the addresses. That's really the main thing to me. But I do suggest first try to do paper. Just you can have a paper trail, and sometimes you dispute online, it's gonna come back verified. And I would rather you have some type of paper trail first, like, hey, I sent you some letters first, and then you dispute it again online because that's your last resort. But I have tested this out, though, you guys, and that's why I said this. I tried to do multiple people. I got way more results, only like a few trinkle results online, right? But paper, a lot of results, like literally a lot of results of accounts getting deleted. But when I have those accounts, it's like they got everything deleted, but they just got a few of them scattered here and there. When you do the disputes online, just it's like a repetitious kind of thing. Like repetitious, you just do like 1 month I'm gonna send it out online. Second month I'm doing online. This is after you already did paper. Like they not gonna delete it. You called them, you did complaints. You really need to sue them at this point, but you don't want to. um then if you do it every month online and use a different reason, I have seen it get deleted. So like even bankruptcies, because I'm gonna get bankruptcies can stay on there for 7.5 years or 10 years. So I tell people, even with your bankruptcies, like if you have tried paper way and maybe TransUnion and Equifax deleted and Experian have not, and it's been technically a whole year you've been doing disputes, haven't been working, try a whole nother year, because you got to wait 10 years anyway, right? Try a whole nother year with doing it online, and you might not get it deleted for the first 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months, but you might get it deleted in the ninth month. And it's sad that we got to do it this way, but a lot of times people, you have filed bankruptcy and it is reporting to your credit report, and they are not reporting accurately, but you won't sue them, so you have to do these crazy methods with them. So that's what I would suggest. And online is just like the last resort. Now, online used to be good. I remember being able to help people do disputes on Credit Karma. Um, when I first started, I mean, like we're talking now, think about how long I've really helping people. It's a long time. It helped, it worked then, but now none of that stuff is really gonna work. You really should do a paper dispute, file complaints if they don't delete it with the CFPB, the Better Business Bureau, and make sure that you send out your letter certified. To me, that's how you're gonna get the best results. If you try other ways, then hopefully it worked. But to me, like I just found paper disputes being the best. And now, honestly, I'm keeping track, so I know like, all right, like when I was plugging in some of my results. So today I looked at client, they got Verizon deleted, a lot of Community Bank. These are different people. I'm just going off a list of like different accounts I seen. Verizon, I got Verizon deleted, some student loans deleted. I got credit acceptance deleted. I got a lot of clients too, so it just be a lot of them. Um, I got all these different accounts deleted, even a mortgage. But you know, sometimes the mortgages be like SKA, like crazy names, so it's not a specific company that we all know. But I keep track of what letter I sent for all these companies, um, what round it was, like what, not just what letter. Like I have a letter for re-aged accounts, but how many letters have you sent out before this, ma'am? Like, is this the first round, second round, third round? What did you say? I keep track of all of that, and I find, like, for Verizon, like, it's a hit if I do this letter and say this thing, mail it out, and it sometimes don't even have to be certified too. I see, like, what needs to get deleted. And a lot of those letters, too, that I'm referring to, I give them out, like, for you guys to use too. So it's nothing like I'm gatekeeping on them, but I literally keep track of like these different accounts. And if I find that a certain thing won't get deleted, I try other avenues. It's no way that you should be trying certain accounts, and you can't get no type of results, and you haven't tried doing extra things or other things to remove that certain account. But I really literally got them down. It's like, when I look at my list, I think I'm over 2,000 now, or almost at 2,000 different accounts that got deleted using different letters, what method, what round, like literally. And then I got the duplicates. So say if I use Verizon, I got to delete it in the second round using my re-age letter. Then what I do is I put exactly what's there, and then I put it how many times I got to delete it. Plus, I want to track what year I got to delete it in, because every year it does change. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I can be really winning with a certain letter. I can just switch up the letter a little bit, but I can be winning with a certain letter, and then I find that that letter no longer um, work. So definitely, I keep track of it, and you guys should too. Like, that's how I know when people call me. I'm like, okay, what when you try to get this deleted? What account is it? Let me look it up, and then I look at my deletion list I got, and then I'm like, okay, it's gonna take me like 2 months or 3 months to remove this. I know, because I know I tried from the first month, but I know based off my experience, based off my track record, this is how long it takes. Should I close my PayPal, MasterCard? I don't think that you should close any type of account. I don't think so. I just don't. Anytime you and I don't know if this is the credit card or if this is just the PayPal debit card, because I don't know if that's the debit card, but if it's a debit card, then you can close it. But if it's a credit card, try not to close them, you guys. Anytime you close your account, you guys are messing up the age of your accounts. And if you don't like that credit card anymore, you're not really using it, please just every 6 months go and buy some gas or something with it. What I like to do is I like to go to Walmart, and if it's a list of things, a lot of stuff I want to get, I literally pull out every credit card and just swipe it off. One item, throw it in there, swipe it. One item, throw it in there, swipe it, just so I can have something going. And usually it's not more than my minimum payment. All of my credits are set up. All of my credit cards are set up to pay my minimum payment no matter what. So when it's time to pay my bill, it's going to automatically take the money, but now it looks like I'm using that credit card, and I don't have to worry about these credit cards closing. So I don't suggest it. Like, if you can help it, try to see if you can keep your credit cards open forever, to be honest, because that's going to help you all the most. I don't know what a redo is about, but what are the best credit cards to start off with a low credit score? If your credit score is low, the best ones to start off with, to me, if it's really, really low, and wait, it's two different lows. Nobody will give you a credit card low, and I get some credit cards, but they're not the best, Rickita. It's two. Nobody will give you some, or some people give you some. So let's talk about nobody. So, oh, you're welcome. So nobody will be, I would say, go with Open Sky. This is like right after bankruptcy. Like, nobody will give you a credit card. Open Sky would be one. And then I would tell you to try the credit builder card, and even try Self, because all of these credit cards, it's whether they're not going to do a credit check, credit builder card to let you get two of them. Or say if you get the Self, it's no credit check to get that. Okay, and you can have 4 credit cards if you just do that. You can get 2 with the credit builder card, 1 with Self, and then 1 with Open Sky. So that's what I suggest. Hold on, we said something under 500. I had to say oh yeah, so you want to start with those: Self, Open Sky, and credit builder card. And I have them on my website too. Go to Rickita.com, and then when you scroll down some, you're going to see the best credit cards for a bad credit. That way you can see those on there. And all those credit cards there can pre-qualify you, so they can tell you yes or no. And just because you have bad credit, that don't mean that you should not try for certain credit cards. Like how I said, I didn't say Capital One, I didn't say Discover, I didn't say Navy Federal. Still try them, because you never know. They may say yes, put a deposit down, we'll give you one. And if they do that, you better hurry and put that deposit down before they change their mind. But hurry and put your deposit down for sure, though. Like, as soon as possible. That's what I would do. And just in case people are listening, I remember being in class, not raising my hand, thinking they was going to answer my question. If you got decent credit, I would still say the Navy Federal, Discover, Capital One, those would be nice. But I will also say, and when I say I still think decent. If you can get some credit card, you decent. Like, seriously, you can buy a house with 500 credit score. You just need to put more money down. So if you are still in the 500s, to me, this is not the best, but it's decent. Like, you decent, because you ain't messed up, but you decent. You could do something. I would say go to my website, Rickita.com, and go through that list of credit cards that can pre-qualify you without hard inquiry. You should see it like in the middle. If you're on a computer, I show you guys this a lot. I would say go through that list. It's over 45 different accounts. Go through that list and try to see if you can get some credit cards out of there. And if for sure, if your credit score is in the 500s, you should go to that best list for credit cards, best credit cards for bad credit, and then you should see some credit cards there too, because you're gonna have, like, let me see what's there. We got Kickoff there, we got Self there, we got Navy Federal there, we got Discover there, we got Credit One Bank, which is not the best, we got Indigo, Prosper there, and Mission Lane. I got that credit card for you all. It was decent. They gave me an increase, but they didn't give me a good limit, which is bad. Like, I applied for that credit card with other credit cards. I think that month I applied for credit cards. I think I got like $25,000 in credit cards. But do you believe they give me a $1,500 limit? I'm like, who do y'all think y'all are? Like, why would you give me this? Like, the lowest limit out of all the other credit cards that I applied for. But granted, my utilization wasn't the best at the time, because if I got a 0% APR credit card, I'm gonna use it. Okay, I'm gonna use it to my advantage, especially with paying off debt. But it's so many different credit cards that's on there, and Mission Lane to me is a great one to build. I want to start telling people more about that one, especially for those people that's trying to go with like Credit One. Like, Credit One is don't. And when you're looking at credit cards, I don't care if you guys get a $300 limit or even a $200 limit. All you want them to do is to report to your credit reports. And if they report into the credit bureaus so they can be added to your credit reports, they good in my book. To be honest, they good in my book. So definitely just go to my website, Rickita.com. I literally put together those lists. The next list I need to put together is what? Oh, the next list I need to put together is an actual list of credit cards that pull TransUnion, credit cards that pull Equifax, and credit cards that pull Experian. Now, let me tell y'all why this is important for those people that's like building credit. So I think Equifax is my best credit score, right? So when I was recently applying for some more 0% APR credit cards, then I wanted to get credit cards I was going to pull Equifax, because Equifax was my best credit score. And I want you guys to do that same thing too. Sometimes you guys just say, oh, I want this credit card. And remember, I told y'all, my man told me, mess with those who mess with me, period. So my thing is, I'm not tied to any credit card. Like, a lot of different credit cards, you can get different perks. I care about what limit you're going to give me. I care about what additional perks I have, any type of rewards, or I'm going to get any type of cash back we're going to get. That's all I care about now. I don't care if you like an off-bearing credit card or if you with like a smaller credit union. I don't care. So I tell people that to look on your credit reports, because some clients may get everything deleted off of TransUnion. They only got one negative account there, but their other bureaus, they got still 4 or 5 negative accounts. So I tell them, hey, only apply for credit cards that's going to pull TransUnion. And once you do that, they're going to give you the best thing anyway, compared to going to Equifax and Experian and getting denied. So if you can find credit cards only going to pull TransUnion, you have a greater chance of getting approved for more credit cards. Stop mirroring these credit cards before they mirror you, because I used to be like that too. Like, oh, I want the American Express, and I don't want any of them. I want this one right here. And Discover, they need to give me this credit card right here. And Navy Federal, I don't want them unless they're gonna give me. I used to be like that, and then I realized, that's especially when you're building your credit. That's not how it's gonna be all the time. Try to get the credit card that you can get, but then try to get something that's still beneficial for you. So try to find certain perks that you want. Oh, I want a card that when I sign up for it, they're going to give me $200. Like when I applied for, let me give you an example. When I applied for the Wells Fargo credit card, I did a pre-qualification. So I pre-qualified for the credit cards without a hard inquiry. And when I pre-qualified for it, honestly, I wanted the autograph card. Okay, I wanted the autograph card, but they said, oh, no, 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 we actually gonna offer you the, I think it's the what is that, the reflex, I don't know, the one where you get the double, you get the 2% back on everything, which is good because my base cash back is 2%. And I wasn't gonna say nope, I don't want that. And they gave me a nice limit. I was not gonna say that. I was gonna say, okay, thank you, I'll take this one. Let me build some more credit with you all, and then I'll come back for another one. Some people be married on a credit card that they want. If they can't get that one, they just like no. And if you at a certain point in your life where you can do that, or if you don't really, if you only, so like say now that my base one is 2%, or with Discover, depending on rotating categories, my base is 5%. If I get another credit card, like say if I was trying to get the Michelin right now just because I want to have it, like Michelin give me 1% cash back. No, I don't want it. That's how my attitude would be now. But I only got a Michelin just to test it with you all. But just don't be married to these companies, because y'all would be surprised. Y'all would be married to a company that won't give y'all an increase. Like, I won't do it. I won't get married to a company. So please don't be married to the company. So let's see what she's saying. What was the response for the PayPal, MasterCard? You are right about the credit one, not the best. I would say if it's a credit card, don't close it. Like none. Like any of your credit cards, don't close it. I don't care what it is. Like I have remember I told y'all I have gotten very good at late payments. Like usually if you got so many late payments, I would be like, hey, we need to throw the whole account away. We need to delete this full account. But now I'm like, okay, wait. Let's just try to change the payment status, update the account status, and it's been working. So even if you have a lot of late payments, you think, let me just close it. I almost got charged off on. I finally brought it back to life. I would still say do not close that account, because it's going to hurt you all a lot. Like try not to close any of your credit cards. And remember I told you too, don't, like when I go to Walmart, if it's time for me, like every 6 months, I gotta go to Walmart. Excuse me, you guys. I gotta go to Walmart, and I put a whole bunch of stuff on the conveyor belt just to swipe each of my credit card with one item. And since it's under $25 for each item, it's probably gonna be under $10 for each item that I'm getting. Um, my auto pay that I have set up with all my credit card companies is going to come through and pay the bill, so I really have to be on it, like, oh, did I pay the bill? I don't want a late payment. I have auto pay on all of my credit cards. That's what I do to keep my credit cards alive. You want these credit cards to get as old as they can get. Like, that's the goal. 3.3. If you got a 544, get you 4 credit cards that's reporting positively. Like, they're reporting on time. So you gotta get you some more credit cards. Get some more credit cards. 4 credit cards. Get you 2 installment accounts. With credit score that low, try to see if you can get 2 of the credit builder cards. You got to put a deposit down, because they don't trust you. They're not, the credit card companies are not going to trust you. But if I were you, I would get 2 credit builder cards. I would get a self card, and I will get an Open Sky credit card. That'd be 4 credit cards, because 2 credit builders would be 2 separate accounts for you. So you got 4 credit cards at that point. But let me say this too, before you get that, try for the Discover, Navy Federal, and Capital One for their secured credit cards. And if they say yes, then cut down one of those. Like Self would be the first one I kick off, because you can't get the Self without having their account first, saving up some money you can get in 3 months. So that would be the first one that you will kick off, kick out of the group. But try Discover, Navy Federal, and Capital One. If they say no to you, because to me those are the ones that's going to graduate nice. If they say no to you, then I would suggest that you guys, that you in particular, or anybody else that's in a situation, I would suggest that you get the credit builder card, get 2 of those, get Self. Dang, what was the other one? Credit builder card, Open Sky. There you go. And then you'll have 4, and start deleting your accounts right away. And if you're on a budget, a lot of people going through stuff. I understand that. I used to always go through stuff. Now I kind of been doing amazing. Now I've been kind of understanding my life more now that I'm older. But if you're going through something financially and you can't pay for some letters, I have a free letter on my website. Send out that letter, but you're going to have to, I do suggest you pay to get it certified. Like, don't be, I don't know where you can get the money from, but get the money if you cannot. This is for the people that can't pay. Send it certified. Get one of these things and send it certified, and it just shows that you're serious, okay? And then it shows, it'll let you know too if they actually got it. So I suggest you send out a letter certified and start working to get some of those accounts deleted. Now, when you find out that some of those accounts were actually deleted and you only got a few of them left, like your Chapter 7, or say if you would have like collections and things like that. And I don't know if that was still you with the Chapter 7. Let me see. three, don't you have a repo? Say if you still got that repo on there, one collection, then I want you to switch over to targeted letters. Like I told you, I keep track of these things. Switch over to targeted letters. Oh, excuse me. And with the targeted letters, it's going to help you get those accounts deleted better, because you're going to have a special letter for repossession. All it talk about is repossession. You're going to have a special letter for collection. All it talk about is collection. So that's what I would suggest. I would suggest you send out the targeted letters next. So again, get 4 credit cards, get you 1 installment account, and self is an installment account. If you can get another installment account, good. But you'll be good. Get your 4 credit cards and your 1 installment account and start working to remove those accounts. I got the free letter on my website that you can use when you first go to Rickita.com. It's like a big old box right there to say free dispute letter and credit card list. Download that and mail that out. Make sure you mail it out certified. Once you see what accounts were deleted, start working on the other accounts that's there. That's what I would do. Start working on other accounts that's there. You can go back to my website. Literally for $27, you can get targeted letters. I think it's like it is 6 letters in a package that's targeted for collection, and then another package for your repossession is technically, to me, considering it to your charge off. That's what I would think. Like it's into the charge off. I would say it's still both into the charge off, but that's what I would personally do. And if you guys find that this information is nice, I want to go live more, especially knowing that they have it like this now. I want to go live more. Just make sure you guys like the video, make sure you guys subscribe, and let me know if you guys have any special videos you want me to make. But I want to make sure I be specific when I answer your questions. I have Navy Federal, but after 6 months, I haven't gotten an increase. Still secure credit card. Why? I will call them. I did that with one of my clients. They were supposed to get theirs upgraded. I called them. She was like, oh, it's going to happen next month. I'm like, okay. I don't know if she did something special or what, but she just said it's going to happen next month. But I will call them and see why it hasn't upgraded. But usually if Navy Federal don't upgrade your account, I would suggest, I know it's kind of crazy, but I would suggest you guys get the pledge loan. And I honestly, I never did the pledge loan, but I just signed up just to test it out. Because Navy Federal, I asked them for an increase on one of my credit cards, and they was like, well, you haven't reached your maximum limit with us. It's like, what? And one of the things that they had on there is I had to have a better relationship with them. I got to set up direct deposit. Like I got all my kids' account with them. I got me a savings account and a checking account, credit cards with them. But they like, you have to extend your relationship with us. So they was like, you don't have to, they said you don't have direct deposits. You don't have any other, like you don't have any loans with us. So I decided to do the pledge loan. But I suggest that same thing with you, because now it's switched up their tone all the way. And I think I just put $250 down and just pay it off. But now we've changed it. So now, oh, thank you. They haven't given me an increase 3 years in. Well, if they haven't given you an increase, I don't think you should cut them off though. I think that you should just use it once every 6 months. That's what I would suggest. Use it once every 6 months. A credit card company gonna have to get rid of me before I get rid of the company. Oh my God, like they're gonna have to get rid of me before I get rid of them, because it's helping with your age, you know? So I would suggest that you just keep that credit card, and just every 6 months you buy some gas, or you go to Walmart like I do, and just make sure it's on auto pay. That's gonna pay itself. Don't put more than $25 on it, so they can just automatically go through on that auto pay, and it's not pushed into multiple payments where you're gonna have to pay interest. That's what I would suggest. And then every month I would ask for an increase still, as long as it's not a hard inquiry, because you know some companies are gonna give you a hard inquiry when you ask. People, oh, I'm so gassy. I am like on this I took 11 classes last semester. I know you guys haven't seen me a lot, but I had took 11 classes last semester, and I got so chunky, y'all. Like, big. I like, this is not me. Like, I can't do this. But you gotta think that's 34 credits plus taking Spanish. Like, hola amigas. Like, I was taking Spanish. Like, I'm still doing my semester 2 Spanish right now, but I'm taking 2 classes this semester. And I'm doing this diet, and I'm just gassy like crazy. So please excuse me with that. And if you guys need to lose weight, check out my other channel. And it's so embarrassing, but I don't care, because I know my body gonna be better later on. Like, y'all can see me. Like, I have a special swimsuit that I put on. I'm on day 3, and I'm already I'm on day 3 and I'm 3.6 pounds down. So I'm like, yes, a pound a day. I'm like winning right now. But I'm gassy. And I'm full on my diet. So if y'all hear me being gassy and things like that or don't talk right, I got my braces, which is new, and I'm just losing weight. Like that's my focus, to lose weight. So please excuse all of my gas. Okay, people who have a Chapter 7 bankruptcy can purchase a house in 2 years. So usually with the Chapter 7 bankruptcy, they tell you to wait 2 years, and then Chapter 13 you gotta wait 1 year. But call a lender and try to see if they can switch some stuff around. But usually they will say wait 2 years. What should each credit card be used for? Well, let me tell you what I use my credit cards for, because I don't know. Each credit card be used for certain things. So my Discover credit card, you get 5% back in rotating categories. So whatever that category is, whether like usually during Christmas it's Amazon, maybe it's gonna be fuel. It's gonna be for 3 months at a time. Whatever it's used for, whatever it's good for, that's what I use it for. Whichever give me the most cash back. I got the Delta American Express, and honestly, my daughter is using that right now. Just to learn. She's 14, so she's using that right now, and she's paying it herself and things like that just to learn how to use it. But I like that because I get the rewards. Like I literally just purchased me a flight. I only have to pay $11, and I use my rewards, and I still got like 65,000 miles left. I still got a lot of miles on there, so I'll use that one for anything Delta related, or my daughter use it. So that's what I would use that one for. Um, my Wells Fargo give me 2% back base no matter what. If I just have to use it, where like on, well, let me explain this. If I just have to use my Wells Fargo and it give me 2% back on everything, I would use that on anything where I have to type in my credit card number. Or I use that one for my credit card, because not my credit card. I use that for my cell phone because it gives me cell phone protection. So I pay my cell phone bill with that. I no longer have that additional insurance, because I was like, I'm paying $10 or $15 a month for this insurance. And then I found out that as long as you pay your credit card bill, I mean, as long as you pay your cell phone bill with that credit card, they give you the $600 of protection. I was like, yep, that's what I need. So I do that. If I need to rent a car, I would use, I believe I will use my Wells Fargo, my American Express, or Navy Federal for renting a car, because they give you protection outside of just your insurance. So I use the different credit cards for that. And these are like my main ones I use. I have other ones. Oh, I got a Walgreens credit card, so I'm a couponer. I get a certain amount back, so I use my Walgreens credit card at Walgreens, and sometimes I use it at Walmart because I get a certain amount back. My Apple credit card, I use it for all my Apple purchases, and then anything that's like Apple Pay, because I get 2% back using Apple Pay. So I use it for that, and then I think it's 5% back on certain things like Walgreens or certain companies like that, Nike. So I'll use it for that. Like I just find out where I'm going to get the rewards, honestly, and that's where I use my credit cards at. And if I don't, oh, I have my wallet right here. Let me just go through a few of them. If I don't get any special rewards, I'm not, because some of them I have in my wallet, but if I'm not gonna get no special rewards, I'm not gonna use it. I ended up getting a Wayfair credit card. Like I tried it out, but I used it at one time. I'm not planning on using that again. I just wanted to keep it. Remember, you get a credit card, you got to use it right away. Oh, my Prime, I use my Prime only for Amazon. And the only way I'll use my Prime too is if I'm going to spend at least $50, because I can divide it up within 6 months of 0% financing, and if it's over 250, it's for a year. So I did like all my Christmas shopping on Prime, and I got to divide it up between the 12 months. So yeah, that's what I use that for. I got Truist. I got two Truists. I use these. I got 0% APR on those still. I think one was like 18 months or 21 months, and 18 months or 12 months. But that's what I use those for. One of these, I got to go into them after the 0% APR. One of them give me like extra cash back, so I'll use it for that. And last but not least, I have a Lowe's credit card that gave me a nice limit. I asked for an increase. At first they didn't give me a nice limit, but I asked for an increase, and they increased it like a lot. I use that because I don't really buy none at Lowe's. I use that. I spend at least $300 on like gift cards. So like if I'm going on a trip, I buy Airbnb gift cards from there. I'll buy restaurant gift cards from there. I'll buy all the different type of gift cards from there. Spend at least $300, and then I'll have 0% APR for Lowe's for 6 months. So that's what I use my different credit cards for. But that's why I like to find like different credit cards that suit my life. You know, if you know what I mean. Like at first it was just like these credit cards aren't gonna give me nothing. I'm building my credit. But once you start building your credit, you can get to the point where you can start saying, okay, I need this, I need that, and then it will be very, very beneficial for you. But that's what each credit card should be used for. Hey Kimmy, is it possible to get companies to remove the annual fee if you threaten to cancel? It's possible. But usually that's another thing. Now that you said that, if you got an annual fee, then I might suggest that you cancel it. Okay? I might suggest that you cancel it at that point. Like if you got an annual fee and it's a high annual fee too, you might want to cancel it. But I would say get all the credit cards you want, because as soon as you cancel that, your credit score can go down. Get all the credit cards that you want to get for the next 6 months to a year, and then cancel it. And then I usually call it sit on it. Sit on those credit cards for that 6 months to a year, and then try to get more credit cards. Is there any companies that you suggest for fixing my credit? I have some free dispute letters, and if you want me to personally look at your, because I had a membership where I can actually send out the letters for you. If you want me to look at your credit, I'll be happy to. When you go to my website, Rickita.com, I have a scheduling link right there, or you can call me at 833-Rickita and you can get put on my schedule. But that's the only thing I suggest. And thinking about reviewing credit. So I had a few people call me from Canada, and I've been like, listen, I got dispute letters. Y'all just try it. I don't know if it's gonna work, but do y'all know I got stuff deleted from Canada? Like, I know how to repair credit in Canada. I was so excited. The first month too. Okay, so Canada don't really got like credit repair like how we got in America. They don't even understand credit like how we understand it. So I was like, okay, listen, the letter $19, you get it. I'll help you fill it out. You know, try it on your own. I'll help you fill it out. But do you believe that stuff got deleted? I'm so happy in the first month. So I'm so excited about that. Oh yeah, you can definitely use it for Whole Foods, but I don't. Only time I'm going to use my Prime is if I'm going to use it on Amazon. Honestly, that's all I use it for. Because honestly, I don't shop at Whole Foods no more. I'm not vegan like I used to be anymore, so I don't really shop at Whole Foods. I learned how to maneuver with the different foods outside of Whole Foods. But yeah, you can definitely use it at Whole Foods. Oh, you definitely welcome. Well, even if too, let me give you a warning now, because I don't know if you're gonna request to call me, or you just do it. You get your credit reports. If you want me to help you with your credit, you have to. If you stayed at 123 Main Street and you got a lot of your accounts on your credit report where you apply for those credit cards, those loans, using 123 Main Street, you got to get a new address. That's one thing, and you got to remove all of your old addresses. Okay. So 123 Main Street plus all them other ones gotta get deleted, and that's the best way you're gonna really get a lot of those accounts deleted. A lot of people think that they could just start it and that's it. They ain't got nothing they need to do. I really need you to get on the phone with them credit bureaus like within that same day, next day, that week, and call them and tell them to remove these different addresses and add a new address on. And if you find for some reason you cannot get them to add an address on, I talked about this earlier, you probably need to apply for a credit card that's going to pull that credit bureau, and once you apply for it, then it's going to get deleted. Then it's going to be added. So say if you want to put 123 Main Street on your credit report and they won't do it because you call them and say, hey, add this address. They say, no, we need verification, all this stuff, and you don't have it. Then you could apply for like the Capital One credit card. They pull all 3 credit bureaus, so they're going to add that address on. I was just about to ask you about the old addresses. Old addresses is, I took it for, granted, I forgot the name of the guy I used to listen to a lot, especially when I had bad credit. I think his name was, that is his name. I forgot his last name, but now I know. It's Corey P. Smith. I listened to him a lot. Like, he used to talk back in the day, and he used to talk about you got to remove those addresses. And I never took it serious back then. I'm like, but when I did it, You talking? I had $70,000 in credit I got in 6 months. This is me fresh out just getting credit cards. I messed up on my credit before. I had like a little minor $200 credit card at the credit union I got when I was like 18. Another one at my bank. I messed up on those. I paid them off. I cleaned up my credit. Didn't even know what clean up credit was. I just knew to pay them. So everything was positive. And then in 6 months, I got $70,000 in credit. And during this time, I should have got my divorce sooner, but I was like, just keep having kids by this crazy man. And I was like, you know what? I need to fix my credit. He was like, add a new address on and delete the old ones. And I literally got the letters, and I just literally, in one day, I created all of my letters. Like, first month, second month, all the way to 6 months. And I was depressed. I mean, mentally messed up in the head. Now I'm looking back on it, like, I feel sorry for anybody that go through that. You gotta think about having young babies, breastfeeding, hormones all out of whack, going through problems. But I literally every month sent in the letters with my new address. I sent in the letters to the credit bureaus, and I made sure I got those other addresses deleted. I just had that one new address. When I tell you, when I look back, we're talking $70,000 in credit that I blew, like, gone. When I looked at my credit after the 7 months, my credit was clean. I probably had like one or two accounts like scattered. Like TransUnion kept one of them. Like when I say one of them, like say if we had, um, who was one of the things? I don't know. Let's Community Bank. Say if I had a Community Bank account, they had, and it was on all three credit bureaus. TransUnion, the only one that had that one account. And then on Experian, they had that one account. I mean, all the way down to bankruptcies, everything gone. So that's why I tell people, add a new address, delete that address, and just send in the letters. And now I know targeted. Like, okay, you got a Capital One account. Okay, I know this is what I got to delete it for this month, that month. I know every month what I need to say, what letter I need to use for Capital One. Like, I've been tracking that now. But when I tell you, I just literally just sent in those letters, removed those addresses, added my new one on. I was a brand new woman. Like, that was a turning point in my life. Seriously. Does to me actually hurt your score? I wouldn't say it actually hurt your score, but to me, it's not the best. It's not the best. Okay, you got it. You have to get to, and then call them. So I've been sitting on the phone with some of my clients calling the credit bureaus because I realized too, like when I was, and I think it's because I went through a lot, and I think that me going through a lot really helped me understand y'all too, because I'm not just somebody like, why won't you do this? Why won't you do that? I understand like being scared to call the credit bureaus, like hanging up on them, like, oh, I don't know what to say. I understand that. So I've been sitting on the phone with a lot of my clients, and sometimes a few things I have found with recent calling with them. Um, Equifax will usually add an address on there and delete additional addresses. Experian would do the same, but sometimes they ask for verification. And also, when you want to delete certain accounts, they're going to say, hey, we cannot delete this account because it's tied to this address. And what I usually tell people is um, update that address with the company. Because I found this, even if you update that address, sometimes with the company, and this isn't only certain situations, it's really for late payments. If you update that address, with the company, they're still going to update that late payment. But if you got like bankruptcies, charge offs, and things like that, let that address stay on there and just keep fighting it, and then keep fighting it. Like somebody asked about disputing online, you can later on dispute some of them accounts online, but just keep calling them, asking them to delete it. And also, I found too that I've been found this out, but a lot of our addresses and stuff are with third party bureaus, and Experian will go to those third party bureaus to get that too. So I would suggest sometimes freezing your third party bureaus too. But it's just a lot that I have found with those addresses and names too, because they may have four different names for you. Or after you do your first dispute with Experian, when they send your credit report, you're gonna realize you got three social security numbers, four different phone numbers, 20 different addresses. Have y'all went on your Experian app? Like, if you haven't already, Go to Experian and look at your credit report. Get the Experian app. It's free. Don't sign up for none of the other stuff. Just say you want just a free account with your Experian credit report. Look at all those addresses there. When I first started trying to remove my addresses after I listened to Corey P. Smith, after I listened to him and started removing my addresses years ago, I realized they had addresses from when I was a baby. I called my mama like, hey mama, what is this address? Oh, that was when you was a baby. And I'm like, y'all been tracking me more than I've been tracking myself. Like, this is crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So please, 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 like if y'all do anything else, please do this with the address and then hang up and call back. But Experian, if you call them sometimes, you're not gonna always get through to them. When you just press the numbers, you gotta ask for the fraud department. And I know y'all can be scared asking for the fraud department, but ask for them or you're not gonna get through to nobody. And that's just being honest. Yeah, I'm gonna need it. And God's mercy, I tell people stop asking for an 800 credit score. Honestly, because I got clients that come to me with an 800 credit score and they telling me to fix their credit because they can't get certain accounts. I just want, this was my only wish, and I have gotten it. My only thing was this, like, this is my only prayer. Like, just let me be able to get whatever account I want. That's it. I don't need a special score. I don't care about none of that. Um, just when I apply for a credit card, let them say yes. And let them not play with me. Let them give me a nice limit. That was my only want. Because I looked at so many different people credit, and I remember when I was just in the 700s asking, and and I started repairing people credit, and I'm like, your credit higher than mine. And I started thinking like, I wasn't fit to help them with their credit. And then I talked to them and they like, Rickita, I can't get anything. My credit is 800 because I got these authorized user accounts. And I realized that. I'm like, oh, you got AU accounts. You got trade lines. That's why you're in the 800s. But they can't get anything. So even with my credit score being in the 700s and they're in the 800s, they cannot get anything. So I just started realizing like, just allow me to get whatever I apply for and I'll be thankful. Like if I can do that, I will be very, very thankful. And that's all I ask for. I do say freeze the small third party bureaus, yeah. Um the trade lines. I have seen people buy trade lines, and I haven't personally bought any trade lines. I haven't. My partner has. He bought trade lines and used them, and even some of my clients. But my whole thought was, even when he was buying trade lines, I'm like, babe, you should fix your regular credit fully. Like apply for your regular credit cards too. Like, you know, he was using it to get certain type of accounts and things like that. And I'm like, I just tell people to build your regular credit. If you're going to get a trade line, use it to the fullest extent. Like when I say fullest extent, as soon as you get that trade line, once it's added to whatever credit bureau, because sometimes not added to all three, sometimes it's only going to be added to two, depending on where you get it from. Apply for all the credit cards you can apply for at that time. Because that's going to be your highest credit score most likely. Don't get a trade line and you still got 10 negative accounts. Make sure you got all your accounts cleaned off to the best. Sometimes you got one or two still lingering. If they're smaller amounts, pay them. But honestly, if you're going to get a trade line, you better use it to your best ability right then and there. Some people get it and then only apply for one credit card. Like, if you want to get a trade line, like apply for 10 different credit cards you need to. Scatter them across the different bureaus. Um, and also, if you're going to use it because you want to get a house, again, you want to move as fast as you can move, because if that trade line come off, usually when you're in that home buying process, they're going to pull your credit score like the day before closing or the day of closing. If that trade line is gone and your credit score is dropped, you messed up. But I love to advocate towards getting your own trade lines, applying for your own credit cards, because those can't go away. You can pay $600, $1,000 for a trade line, but to me, you can put a lot of that money into you getting your own credit cards. depending on where you at. But like I said, if you get the trade line, get as many credit cards as you can, but try to build up your own profile. I really try to advocate to that, because some people, they think, like I told you, that 800 credit score, they got trade line, trade line, trade line. It's like, why don't you have your own credit cards? And then it's like, oh, I got the trade lines. I thought I was gonna get some credit cards. Like, if you don't have even some of your own credit cards, like basic, I don't even care if they're secured. None of these companies are probably gonna give you a credit card, and that's just being honest. So I tell people, please, please, please try to get your own credit cards. Time to get back to work. Thanks for the gym. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm gonna get back to work too, because I want to be on here for an hour and I'm 4 minutes over. Wow, I didn't know that. I was thinking. I don't. You know what? I got my car. Like, I paid off my first car in less than 2 years. My goal is to pay off this car in less than 2 years, and I should be able to do that. But I don't want to know at all. Like, I don't want it. Like, if it's not a full business, like, even my car is a full business expense, but I just feel like people don't understand business expenses. You can use that on anything. Like, when I'm using to pay for a car, I can be using that for more trips, to learn more, to do more, things like that. Building a company in other ways. Like, I don't want to know at all. Like, the notes, after this, I'm not doing a note. And my daughter right now is saving up for her car. She only 14, so she's going to get, I'm thinking about letting her get a car even with her permit, because I don't want her to drive mine. And I told her whatever she pay, I'll put the rest down. So I'm thinking no more than $3,000 total, $4,000 for her car. I don't even want her to get used to like having a note. Like, I want to get used to like paying for a car, or learning how to write it off on her business. And I'm assuming she's gonna have a business right away. Or if she continue to work for me, then maybe we'll do something within the business. But that note stuff, if y'all look at how much y'all are really paying, or even releasing it too, it's just a lot. I'd rather pay cash, like, honestly, if I can. A lot of times when people, God's mercy said, how good of a credit score do you need for business credit? So for business credit, sometimes it's not always about your credit score, but I would suggest you have a 680 or higher. Sometimes too, you want to look at your inquiries. You want to look at your negative accounts, especially if you personally guaranteeing it. You want to look at, like, do you have any late payments? You want to look at these different things, because sometimes, like I said, they're gonna deny you just from your inquiries. So definitely look into your different accounts, look into your inquiries, and make sure you have at least a 680 credit score. So you need to remove some late payments. Okay, so if you have, well, which account is it for late payments? If you don't mind me asking, let me see. I'm gonna look on my thing on here. I got my little list I was telling y'all about, where I know deleting them. Let me see. What's the name of your companies that have the late payments? I have my list pulled up. The list that I'm referring to is the list where I know, like, with deleting accounts or removing late payments, I send this letter on this month and say this, it gets deleted. So let me know which ones it is. But on my website, I got late payment removal letters for literally $27. So I would suggest that you try that. And if you want me to actually do it, you can call me at 833 Rickita, and I'll be able to help you. Usually my assistant, her name is Esther. She will help you get your credit reports, or you can get your own credit reports, and then I'll look at them and see exactly what we have to do. But I am gonna log off of here. I'm gonna wait for you to tell me, like, Jose, which late payments, what companies they are, because I can tell you, okay, it take me this many, things. Um, but not like you and Kim, I got a text message coming from babe. But definitely call me 833 Rickita. I am probably gonna randomly go live like this and just talk to y'all, see what y'all got going on, answer any questions that y'all have. If y'all have any additional questions, please drop them down below, or call or text me. Hopefully y'all have a great night. I have to start dinner, but it's not gonna take that long, because we having salmon tonight, and I got a whole salmon, no carbs, because I want a keto diet, so I can't eat too many carbs. But yeah, I got a whole salmon. I'm gonna throw that in the oven now. It's gonna be so good. I had a car known over 5 years, and now it's time to get a new one. Man, I will drive a car until the wheels fall off. I don't care, because man, all that money you paying, like, oh, mm-mm. I don't know. I'm very frugal, and like I said, I don't want another note. I don't want it. But I'll see you all later. I gotta figure out how to get off of here. This is my first time going live this way. Okay. The X. Let's see. Oh, that's it. Alrighty. See you all later. Bye bye.